An aerial view of my garden. So one of the things I've changed recently is getting this big blue barrel added as rainwater collection. I have one on this side and one on the other side of the house in the back. I've also this year added a couple of little stone planter boxes. The first one here has sunflowers and the next one has some tomatoes. They're both doing pretty good. This is not the variety of sunflowers I thought it was. I bought them expecting Autumn Splendor, a very golden leaf, golden petal, sunflower. And as you can tell, that's not quite what I got. Still very nice, but not what I was expecting. There's one of my bathtubs here in the front. This is an old clawfoot cast iron tub that I got from a co-worker. I've just finished refurbishing it so that it's ready for planting for next year. Looks like my daughter's been digging it up a little bit. Further here in front, we have a few barrels. These are the bigger ones. This one, this one are all dryer drums, and two other plastic buckets here. They've done okay. There's nasturtiums growing here and here. But they're not doing that great. They're only now just really starting to get their flowers going good. And barrel back here has a few tomatoes in it that I thought were dead, but have recently come up and started thriving again. There's an old plastic laundry bin from work that they were getting rid of, one of two actually. And I've planted some flowers in them, some gladioles in this one. And it did okay. This one was nice bright red. It looked really good a couple of weeks ago, but it's coming to the end of its time. New flagpole that I made recently out of a few pieces of a fence post is bolted together, but it's doing okay. I'm trying to keep back well from the edge. So you can just barely see them, but on the front of my patio I have little half barrels from the Dollarama. They're okay, but they don't really have enough soil to suit most plants. Last year before, I put in new eaves troughing as part of rainwater collection. You can see the other blue barrel here. I also have my tomato bin here on this side. Tomato in the side planter box. This one's starting to fall apart pretty badly. It's not doing that great. It did okay, but only one tomato plant into it this year. So this is my backyard. Right now we have some of my junk collection. I have some metal recycling to go here and a bunch of wood over here that I need to get rid of, and some other stuff right here that I plan on getting rid of. Have the chicken hutch on the side of the shed here, and it's actually extended out behind the shed on the back here. Down here we have a couple of apple trees right here on this side next to this little planter I put in last year before. It's mostly overgrown, not really doing that great, but it's there, and I hope to make better use of it next year. Now, and the lines behind, I gotta do my angle right. In the lines behind the apple tree here and here are Kellenbeck potatoes. and I hope to be harvesting them this weekend if it stays dry enough. And my potato plants still going strong over here, but over here they've been knocked down by the wind pretty good, and there's actually signs of rat damage. You can see teeth marks in the potatoes. And the last line over here and a line right there is mostly carrot and parsnips. The parsnips are a bit of a surprise because I put them in and waited for them to germinate, and I never seemed to get anything germinate, and thought they were dead. I thought it was bad seed and they didn't come. And all of a sudden I got a line of parsnip right on the edge of the garden next to the rocks. Now you can see down in the back here I have some sunflower plants. They're starting to wilt out terribly. It looks like there's too many in that container to comfortably share the space. Now over on this side is my greenhouse. It's been doing pretty good this year. I got a bunch of black peppers in there. Look at the black peppers. So here you can see my black pepper collection. They're about 2-finger width, not very big, but I do have a few. There's 4 on that plant and 5 on this plant back here. They're each colored about the same way as a eggplant. Tomatoes in here not doing that great. I didn't give them enough soil or nutrients, so they're not doing great. This pepper produced a couple of nice red peppers for me. Small, but they got there. And this is another black pepper plant. And basil, because you can never have too much basil. It smells so nice. So this is the bathtub I planted my tomatoes and peppers in down here. One of my peppers. Plant in the back got a decent size. Oh, I was about to say there was no pepper, but there is. He's back there. This one in the front, no pepper. But lots of little cherry tomatoes on this plant everywhere. This is a bad thing. This broke off. I tried these dollar store tomato cages, not nearly strong enough. I should have went my first instinct and used like old broom handle. Would have held up a hell of a lot better. And that's a pepper plant in the back. I just can't see because of the weeds and the other junk if he's got anything on him or not. No, nothing on him. But I think next year I'll keep this just peppers. It's doing really good. Putting out a lot of cherry tomatoes and they're very delicious. Now down here closer to the back, the workshop door, I have terracotta pots and a couple of plastic bins. Now over here you can just see the gladiolas here. There's tomatoes in this one. This one also has tomatoes, but they didn't survive the summer drought that we had this year, and I didn't keep up well enough on watering them. This one is just wildly overgrown with weeds. This one had time into it. You can see that it's mostly dried out, but I'm hoping that it'll come back next year. I put a lot of extra compost into it this year. I actually lifted up the whole plug of soil that the thyme bush is attached to, pulled out rocks from and underneath it, and put more soil in under it for the plant to explore in the future. And this one was up in the front of the house on the edge of the driveway before with some flowers into it. mostly for looks. They did okay. Took to the change of being in the backyard pretty good. Now over here on this side we have wooden box that I made a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago at this point. It's getting quite old, but it's still holding up. This year there's a couple of volunteer potatoes in there. Right into this corner up here there's a pepper plant with a nice green pepper growing into it. And the rest of this area about right there is tomatoes. So far they're not showing a lot of fruit, and it's the end of the season, so I don't have much hope of it getting anywhere, but they grew up and they're looking okay. You can just barely see my black currant bush right here in the front. This is a black currant bush. Little black currant berries. Very great as a jam. Makes a great home remedy for sore throat. Black currant jam in a cup of hot water. Doing good. I should have harvested the black currants already. I kind of just let them go. Not sure if you'll see it, but there's actually acorn squash flower showing about here. It got mixed in with the rest, and because of the summer drought was late on arriving with everything else. I have 3 compost bins in the back. They're all washer bodies and doing good. 2 of them are full, and the one closest to us on this edge is about ready to be emptied out when I harvest all the potatoes and carrots and stuff you can see here. Now on this back side I have another dryer drum on the back. That one had purple beans into it this year. It did okay, but again the summer drought affected everything and I didn't keep up good enough on watering. There's a bathtub right here. That one got a pepper and a couple of tomatoes into it. You can just barely see on the other side of this gray bin there's another dryer drum, then the gray bin, then the dryer drum right there, forming a bit of a right angle corner there. The 2 dryer drums are new and they will be put into use next year. I'm hoping to put peas in there, into the 2 dryer drums. The plastic bin I'm not so sure of because there's a fair height difference between the wooden bin and then the dryer drum, and then it jumps up fairly high for the plastic bin and then it's lower again for the other dryer drum, and I'm not sure I like the height difference so much. I'm planning on, once this bed is empty, to fill it up as much as I can with more soil so that it got a higher head height. There's a lot of branches in the bottom of that I don't think are helping me much. Now you can see the height difference I'm talking about with the plastic bin. When you're looking over here this way, I kind of wanted to keep it more height of these 2 things. I could cut down the bin, but I'm reluctant to do it. I'm not sure that that's the best course of action. I'd rather have another bathtub here, mostly level across, and it wouldn't be so jarring to the eye to see it that way. This is the bathtub of cucumbers and tomatoes. Tomatoes are doing good. Cucumbers are all dying back. I'm always looking at the cucumbers to see if there's another straggler or 2. Thinking I want to make some sweet green relish out of the cucumbers I got left in the fridge. Haven't decided yet. But they're pickling cucumbers and they're definitely gone a bit further than they should. And got some cucumbers dangling out over the side. Harvested twice from that one. And thought I was doing great by putting tomato plants in there with the cucumbers. But the cucumbers really took over the spot and summer drought held the tomatoes back. Now this used to be my strawberry patch right here. It's bigger than what it seems from this height and this angle. This is actually a 4 foot by 8 foot garden bed, and on the outside here are tomatoes random ones that I started in the greenhouse. Didn't really think they were going to do much, and they took off. There's just barely see it from here, but there's tomatoes right there. Nice beefsteaks starting to come out. You can see a bunch of my tomatoes here. These are the ones that are impressing me the most at the moment. These are very nice and big. I really hope they get ripe. And my store-bought potatoes. You can see there's still some plants growing on this side, but a lot of the plants on here have died back. Now the plants are mostly died off on this side, but there's still few living on the other side. And if the weather holds off for today, I'm hoping to get down there and dig them up. You can see my shed and my chicken run a bit better from here, and the neighbor's backyard that I'm trying not to show. But you can see I have a fair bit of land here for my daughter to play in before we start getting into my herb garden. All the little bits of purple here, that's oregano starting to flower. Usually got a lot of chives about here, but this year not so much. They're not growing nearly as vigorous or as big as they were, which is kind of okay because I got a lot of chives in a bottle in the house all dehydrated. Now this was a chain link fence gate that I had put in for trellising peas the other year, and I moved it so I can have a bit of variation in the garden. And Virginia creeper or some sort of white trumpet flower vine has taken over the fence altogether. I tried and have gotten a fair bit of crushed stone in here on the path to the greenhouse, but the weeds are already coming up through. It's only been a few months and the weeds are already coming right back through the crushed stone again. I put down weed fabric and it didn't do nearly enough. And you can see the solar panel on my greenhouse over here. Currently charging okay, but it's 3 batteries are not enough to keep the lights on in the shed with the demand I've been putting to it. So that's mostly my yard for this year. My back patio is quite a mess. But that'll be cleaned up soon before the winter comes here. And I'm hoping to take care of a lot of this wood too, as soon as I can get to the dump again. Apple trees have a few apples out on them. They're doing pretty good. These are not crab apples. This is actually good size apple. Nothing too big. I can fit 2 of them in my hand. Should show you there's also apple tree up here in the front yard. Walk across my roof. Just behind the flag going here. This is actually an apple tree as well. Kind of hard to see any apples from here, but bright spots of red in there, that's crab apples. They're terrible to eat, but they help pollinate the other apples quite nicely. So that's mostly my garden tour for this year. I'll probably insert some more video from down in the garden from a closer vantage point after. I think that's a good idea. So, kick back to a picture I got on my channel community page somewhere. Do you remember this? Video me up here doing this many years ago. Actually when we were getting the roof done the last time. And it looked a bit different down there then. So here we go. Just like that. So that's the end of another video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll come back and see me again next time that I'm down in the garden or in the workshop or renovating the house. And maybe we can have an interesting time together. I'm Steven. This is Hearthside Light Exports, and I'll see you soon.